Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched some movies.
We watched a few.
Yes, we did. But Sean was just complimenting me on my makeup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really nice. Good. I do.
This is what's called having a husband, where you can sit beside him with your Halloween makeup out and do a complete zombie look. And he compliments you.
I like it.
Because he hasn't noticed. He thinks this is me just trying to look nice.
I like it.
You don't notice that my face is totally white and all I look is like a sick zombie.
Oh, I like your eyes.
Mm-hmm. He also doesn't know where the mustard is. You could live with a person for years and they stop noticing. If they ever noticed to begin with. So we watched 2 zombie movies. We challenged people to suggest your worst and your best Halloween fare. This is one I picked for myself, and I picked it off Disney Plus.
A safe bet for you.
Yes. Thrilled to know that they have so much quality Halloween content, so I can feel like I'm participating in Spooktober. And yet I don't have to spook myself, which is
You're
nice.
not giving yourself enough credit.
I have been better lately, haven't I? Yeah.
You have.
Yes, I have.
You just don't enjoy them, I think. But you also can tolerate them.
I do tolerate them pretty well. I think I'm getting better, or are scary movies just getting worse? It's hard to say.
You're getting better.
Thank you, dear. We all know you're just trying to make up with me, but
well, still.
Good effort. Yes, still. So I have to say, these movies are on Disney Plus. They're Disney Channel quality, but I loved the hell out of them.
Oh, good.
I know you can argue against me all you like.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. To me, they're just. I mean, I haven't seen High School Musical, but I assume this is exactly the plot of High School Musical, only with zombies.
Less zombies, yeah. So, I mean, I thought the whole thing was kind of clever. I thought the script was surprisingly good. I thought the production design was out of this world. I can't compliment that enough. Mark Hofling, I have a crush on you. I've never seen you, never met you, but I love what you're doing. I feel like this is, I mean, I kind of thought it's a dual sister cities, we'll say. So Seabrook is a planned community, just filled with bright and beautiful, perky perfection as far as the eye can see. It looks like a Taylor Swift movie directed by Wes Anderson. It is pastel perfection. But 50 years ago, their power plant had a lime soda accident. And it emitted a green haze, which turned everyone who, I guess, breathed it in into a zombie.
Whoa.
So now the town is split down the middle. One half is still that perfect Seabrook. The other half is Zombietown. So 50 years ago, these zombies were brain-eating monsters. Since then, zombie tech has advanced quite a lot. Now they all wear bracelets on their wrist, and that makes them as human as possible. It makes them very nice people. They still retain a certain pallor and green hair, but they are no longer eating brains.
They eat cauliflower.
They eat a lot of cauliflower, yes. I don't know if they've gone full vegetarian, but the town of Seabrook is still afraid of them. They have a big zombie phobia, which has led to...
They're really more prejudiced than afraid, in my view.
Okay, sure. It has led to segregation, full segregation. And there are lots of oppressive laws against the zombies. Like, they have to wear uniforms, and they get the worst jobs, and they can't have pets just in case they get brain-eaty again.
Yeah.
Which, all right. But things are slowly improving with the zombie tech, and when we meet Zed, the teenage zombie boy, who's going to be our protagonist, he's super excited for the first day of school because this is the first time that zombies are allowed to go to human school.
That's right, they're integrating.
Yeah. And so at the same time, we are meeting our human protagonist, a perfect blonde named Addison, who has dreamed her whole life of being a cheerleader, which seems to be the upper echelons of status in Seabrook.
It does. They have a terrible football team.
They have a terrible football team. Well, when you are called the Shrimps,
Yeah, it's not
I
helpful.
don't know that that's the way to go.
It's not the best mascot.
Yes, so all the school wins with its cheerleading squad, not its football team. Now, when they get to school, Zed is not happy to find out that there are still separate entrances and all the zombies are relegated to the basement. All the zombies are relegated to the basement. Not the basement classroom, the basement
It's the
janitor's room.
Yeah.
And they aren't
Utility
allowed
room.
to go into any extracurriculars. They are not even allowed in the cafeteria. The facilities are going to be kept entirely separate.
Which is very disappointing because Zed wanted to join the football team.
He did.
That was his plan.
That was his plan all along. And now that he's seen a pretty human cheerleader, he wants to make her shake her pom-poms. So something happens where due to a bracelet malfunction, he kind of turns zombie-ish. And when he turns zombie-ish, he has, this brute strength and aggression. And he uses it at the time to, I think, save the cheerleader
Oh, that's right.
in the
Yes,
school gym.
he does during the pep rally.
Yes. But he really wows everyone with his athleticism. And so he makes the football team. And he sort of negotiates this position, and the principal agrees that if he starts winning games for them, then they can talk about zombie integration.
Yeah, so
So-
he has a lot of responsibility.
Yes. Meanwhile, Addison is on the cheerleading team with her good friend Bree. The cheerleading captain, Bucky, is a mean boy. He's
Very.
like a mean girl, but he's a boy, and
Yeah.
he's the head
But he uses all
cheerleader.
mean girl tactics.
He really does. And he is not for any sort of integration. Whereas Addison is more open-minded. She doesn't mind having zombies on the cheerleading squad.
But she's got a crush on a zombie,
Well,
so
that's how it all starts.
yeah. Yeah. All you need is
Two
love.
communities, both alike in dignity. Oh boy. So, yeah. Will a football player and a cheerleader change a little town's prejudices and save the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. With song and dance.
Yeah.
It's really quite stirring.
Yes, it
And
is. It's
poor Addison
inspirational.
has to go against even her parents because they're not pro-zombie.
Her mom is the mayor, and her dad is the captain of the zombie patrol.
Yeah.
So they're not impartial.
Not a real friendly atmosphere.
You might say they're members of the deep state.
You might say that. And it's going to be very controversial. Of course, she's keeping it a secret because teenage love is much more fun and naughty when it's a secret, when they're sneaking around. Yeah. And of course, our boy Zed is trying to seem more human. They're both changing for each other, guys. Ugh. Anyways, so luckily, Zed has a best friend named Eliza who can hack.
She's very good. She wanted
The
to join
zombie tech.
computer club.
Yeah,
That was her
that
goal.
was her dream. Dreams coming true left and right. Yeah, I have to say, something just appealed to me about this movie. I thought the songs were great. I mean, okay, they're not great. But if I heard them on the radio, I wouldn't question that they belong there.
They're catchy,
I wouldn't
poppy little tunes.
love them, and I might change the station, but I wouldn't notice that they didn't belong, to be honest.
That's okay.
I wouldn't, the dancing is better than I thought would be in a Disney movie. I felt like
It's music video.
the choreography was a little edgier than I thought Disney would even know about. It's surprising that somebody told them that they could be a little bit hip. Not very hip.
Like Thriller, that's where they've
Yeah,
approached
yeah.
to, so
Yeah.
it's progress.
It's progress of a kind. The production design, the costumes, Sean particularly admired the pastel football uniforms.
Yeah, it's really something. It went with the whole
The
motif.
whole aesthetic, which, is my dream come true.
Yeah.
Even the Zombietown, the Zombietown is
The
maybe
Zombietown looks
slightly more
super
of
good.
an edgy Katy Perry look, but still fun and
Yeah. Colorful.
just a little darker and less perfect.
A little more
steampunk.
Industrial Revolution. Yeah.
Anyways, why did I love this movie? I can't even say, except for all
You
of
don't
these
have to
things
justify
just added up to something I really tolerated very well. I thought the script was even a little bit better than I would have ever credited with a movie like this from a Disney Channel. There were little bits that were actually funny. They leaned hard on archetypes. They really embraced that, but in a slightly, there was a little bit of irreverence there that made it, I think, a little more palatable. I just enjoyed it.
You liked it.
I did like it.
And that's fine.
I'm still trying to decide if I'm embarrassed about it, but I
Just
did
embrace
like
it. It's fine.
So it's great family viewing.
It is.
It's
These
because
are
it's
fun little
zombies.
movies.
It is Halloween themed, but there's no big frights in this.
None at all.
I mean, it's cheerleading.
Yeah.
Hardly any football. Sean suspected that whoever wrote this script
Has
never
never
even
seen a
seen
football
football.
game. I think that's pretty clear.
And that's fine. That is fine by me. Now, the really great thing about this movie is if you did enjoy it, if your family really liked it, there's a sequel.
There's a sequel that resets everything, only introduces a whole new type of monster.
So I went into the sequel thinking, what else did we even, I feel like we really defeated our prejudices in the last film. We really conquered all. So why do we even need a sequel if there's not going to be any conflict? Well. It turns out that all along, Seabrook legend told of werewolves. They didn't have time to mention it in the other film.
No, they were just trying to keep it streamlined.
Yes, that's right. But something has awoken them. Well, something has drawn them closer to town, and it's because their magic powers
From the Forbidden Forest.
Right. Which are still within the bounds of the town, apparently.
That's cool.
That's going to be important because, yes, they also want to go to high school. It was a little suspicious that all the werewolves were teenagers, but it is because their magic moonstone is dying, and the big stone is hidden in Seabrook, they believed. And so is the prophecy foretells of a pack leader. So they also think he or she will be in Seabrook. So they decide to infiltrate. It's a little bit nefarious, their plan. But
it's not that nefarious, and they're still dancing and singing.
Yes. Oh no, I don't mean that it's a scary movie at all. I just mean they are not trying to be nice like the zombies were. The zombies were like, we want to be your friends. These wolves didn't want to make friends. They wanted to find their moonstone or whatever it was called.
I see.
But the minute there's a hint of werewolves, the mayor slams on all the monster laws, which
also apply to zombies.
Yeah, zombies are still qualified.
You can't have an exception.
Monsters.
You have to treat all monsters equally. Mm-hmm. That's clear.
That's clear. And there are lots of losses of freedom that happen. Lots of terrible laws. To Zed, the worst one is that he can't go to prom with Addison.
Yeah, except it's called prawn.
Yes, it is. They are the shrimps, and the prom is called the prawn, as in a shrimp. Just a wonderful touch, Sean.
Yeah, it is.
Go with it.
I enjoyed that. I thought that was a really good double entendre wordplay.
Yeah.
Wordplay.
Wordplay, baby. Anyways, so even the zombies are conflicted in this because, they remember that half a minute ago they were the oppressed class. So they kind of think, they definitely think it's not fair that they're being involved in this. But they almost feel like they should be able to press the werewolves down.
Yeah, for sure they do.
Because
werewolves are girls.
Yeah. Zombies are fine, but werewolves, no. They should be the underclass now. So there's actually a pretty fine allegory for the American class system. which you never expect to find in a Disney movie about cheerleading. And yet, there it was. Yeah. They're still singing, they're still dancing. Alarmingly, there's a little more rapping in this one.
Yeah, there is.
And
werewolves are edgy.
Never by any of the black characters.
No.
It was always white people doing
That's
the rapping.
true.
Which is fine.
It's allowed. It's maybe a bit of a mistake.
It was definitely a mistake. And yet I still enjoyed the sequel. Of course, sequels never have the same magic as the first one, but...
Well, ironically, it doesn't have the same magic because it's exactly the same.
Yes. So now we have to fight for everyone's rights and change the hearts and the fears of the people. Mm-hmm. And also decide whether we can afford to help the werewolves in their quest.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the werewolf problem would go away if they just didn't find that rock.
Just help them out. They'll go do their thing back in the Forbidden Forest.
Yeah.
Where they've apparently been just hanging out for 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or more. So I will mention the young cast in particular because these people are working hard. So Zed, our zombie, is played by Milo Manheim, Cameron Manheim's son. Addison, the cheerleader, is played by Meg Donnelly. Bucky, the head mean cheerleader, is played by Trevor Tordjman. Eliza, who is the computer hacking zombie, played by Kylie Russell. Addison's cheerleader friend, Bree, is played by Carla Jeffrey. And then Bonzo, who is the...
Oh, that's the guy that doesn't speak English.
He doesn't. He only speaks zombie. And apparently a little werewolf. Yeah, he picks that one up, not the English. That's Bonzo, played by James Godfrey. And then in the second one, when the werewolves come in, we meet Wyatt, played by Pierce Josa. And Wyatt seems to be getting pretty close to Addison.
That is part of why Zed hates werewolves.
That's right. I think that might influence everything. More than his own personal hatred. It's just he's hitting on his
jealousy.
girl. Yeah. And he can't bring her to prom.
Right.
And he's running for school president against Bucky the cheerleader, which is intense. And they do their debate speech by rap battle.
Yeah. I think that is how it works now in 2020, as far as I've learned from
I would
movies.
like to see that. Please. Trump and Biden.
Wow.
Yeah. And The Fly.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was Mike Pence.
Well, still, bring him back.
Yeah. Let's see who he lands on. Maybe that's how Americans should settle their election. It can't be any worse than when they vote. So Wyatt and then Chandler Kinney is kind of like the leader of their pack, and Ariel Martin to round out the werewolves. I thought these guys were really good. They have to be like double and triple threats to be in this movie.
Yeah, cheerleading, singing, rapping, dancing.
Hacking.
Hacking, that's true.
Yeah.
I think the hacking might have been simulated. That might have been special effects.
Yeah, you're right. The only one I had a problem with was Bucky the mean cheerleader. Everybody else seemed like a believable character, and I'm talking about zombies, but everybody else seemed like a naturalistic teenager. He was just too polished. He was too hammy. He was too on. And it really stands out in a movie where no one else is acting like they're in like a hammy Disney show. Everyone else is just doing regular stuff, and he is dialed up to like 200.
20?
Yeah. So that was a little hard to take, and I think the movie didn't need that.
It didn't. It's true.
It didn't. But yeah, I was pretty impressed with the cast and singing and dancing and being a zombie and
just all the things that you
it was a whole
wish
thing.
were happening while you were in high school.
Yeah. So what more can you want? Cheerleading, prom,
Yeah.
football games.
Maybe another sequel?
There could be.
Yeah.
And Zed does have a little sister who likes cheerleading and puppies.
Oh yeah.
So can she defeat the anti-pet law in the Zombietown?
Yes, she can.
Well, I thought it was a little controversial that at first she tried to make the werewolves her pets. You know,
Yeah.
I could understand the werewolves being a little miffed at that, although you
They went
can
along with
placate
it.
them with ear scratches.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just all kinds of wholesome goodness happening in this movie. It looks spectacular. I absolutely do love the sets and the costumes. Yeah, it just worked for me, and it'll probably work for a lot of families.
It's not terrible.
It's not. It's just saccharine.
Yeah.
It's just extremely...
so much.
It's a cupcake of a movie.
It's more than that.
Okay.
It's just the icing sugar.
Oh, I see. And yet, I was in the mood for dessert.
There you go.
There you go.
That's all you need.
So if you like to watch it, it is available on Disney+. Both of them are. Have fun. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.